Welcome to a new quarter and a new course of study here at Fruitland Baptist Bible College. Hello, my name is Steve Googe. I will have the privilege of being with you for the next 10 weeks to guide your study as we study Supervised Ministry 301. I've been praying for you, and I will continue to do so throughout the course of this quarter. We'll be studying some information that I hope will help you be a more effective minister. Here at Fruitland, we want our courses to be practical and have application to the ministry God has called you to serve in. And so, this course will be no different. Every student deserves to know who is teaching them. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. My name is Steve Googe. I grew up in a small community in Spruce Pine, North Carolina, and I graduated from high school from Spruce Pine, and then went on to Western Carolina University, where I earned 2 degrees. One degree was in psychology and the other was in social science. I continued my education after marrying my wife Wanda at Southwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, where again I earned 2 degrees, a Master of Divinity and a Master of Arts in Religious Education. My next degree came from Southern Baptist Theological Seminary in Louisville, Kentucky, where I earned the Doctor of Ministry degree. I'm married to Wanda, and we've been married for 45 years, and what a blessing it is to have her as my helpmeet. She indeed is my joy, and she provides inspiration and encouragement to me all along the way. I have 2 daughters. One lives in Taylorsville, Kentucky. The other daughter lives in Frankfort, Kentucky. Recently, I moved to the state of Kentucky to live in Taylorsville, close to my daughters and my 6 grandchildren. 3 of my grandchildren live here in Taylorsville, and the other 3 live in Frankfort, and I have a wonderful time being with them. I serve as a church consultant, a church coach, and I am also an interim pastor, serving the Lord there. For the last several years, I've had the privilege of teaching courses both online and on campus for Fruitland Baptist Bible College. And it's been a joy to be able to get to know people like you. In this online class, we will need to create community, and I hope that you'll help me to do that by participating in the forums and the discussion times, reacting to your peers as they evaluate some of the work that you do. I came to know the Lord when I was 8 years old, and I certainly have never regretted that commitment. He called me into ministry when I was a sophomore in college, and my life has been one of serving Him ever since. I've been a pastor for 37 years. I've served some wonderful churches and had some wonderful people to be associated with. I also have been a director of missions. I served with the Brushy Mountain Baptist Association in Wilkesboro, North Carolina, for over 5 years and enjoyed that immensely. And now we live here in Kentucky, continuing to minister for the Lord. Now, I would like to encourage you to take your class syllabus. I hope that you've printed it off by now. If you haven't, before you watch the next slide, I want to encourage you to print off your syllabus so that you can follow along as I share with you what will be required during this quarter of study. Now that you have your syllabus in hand, you will notice how to contact me. My cell phone number is listed there on the front of your syllabus, as well as my email address. It's best perhaps to try to email me first, but if you can't get me in that way, or if you have a very serious question you need to ask, please call my cell phone number. Now I want to ask you to anticipate problems that you might have, and do not wait until the day the assignment is due to contact me about an issue that you might have with an assignment. Please take advantage of these opportunities of contacting me if you need to do so. You notice on the front of the syllabus the course description and then the instructional objectives. I will not read those to you, but I do encourage you to look at them for yourself. Then I want to ask you to look at page number 2. You'll see the required text. One is called Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life by Don Whitney. You will read half of this book this quarter and the other half in Supervised Ministry 302. Then you will purchase Living Your Strengths, Discover Your God-Given Talents, and Inspire Your Community. This will help you understand where your strengths lie. These will be the textbooks for our course. You will notice a suggested bibliography. These are not required books, but if you want to go deeper in the subject matter, you will have those resources available. Then I want to share with you internet and video resources. Links to internet and video assignments are provided for ease of access for the students. To connect to the link for a specific lesson, simply go to the week corresponding to the assignment due date on Moodle and click on that assignment. There will be opportunities for interaction with your professor. I want to be available for one-on-one conversations upon your request. We can use such technology as Skype, FaceTime, or even the telephone. So feel free to contact me if you'd like to schedule a time of interaction. Now, in just a moment, we're going to talk about the course requirement and assignments, but let me call your attention to the grading scale that we use here in Fruitland. And you'll notice on page number 7, the grading scale is there for you. And then also, I would just call your attention to the evaluation categories on page number 6. You will be responsible for a ministry log, a personal evaluation or reflection paper. Your field supervisor will evaluate you. Your objectives and learning covenant will be another source of evaluation. Your strength finders reflection paper, your spiritual gifts reflection paper, final examination, case study discussion forums, and the interactive activities. Those are the things you will be graded on. And then you also will notice that there are writing guidelines that I ask you to follow as you put together material for submission. Writing guidelines are found on page number 8. On page 7, you will notice some critical information. Late submission of work. Assignments turned in late will be assessed a substantial penalty of 20% unless the reason for the late submission is due to a documented emergency. A documented emergency means the instructor shall be notified prior to the due date of the assignment, preferably by email. All assignments are required. You'll notice policies of the class. All assignments are required. Personal time management is crucial for all people. Therefore, assignments are due as specified in the syllabus. You'll want to see page 9 for those due dates. Assignments, again, turned in late will result in a 20% reduction of one's grade for that assignment unless there is a documented emergency. Also, be aware of the fact that no makeup assignments will be accepted after the 9th week. It is not excusable to turn in an assignment late because you did not read the syllabus correctly. It is your responsibility to read the syllabus and to understand it fully. And if you have questions, just ask me about them. Now we're going to talk about the course requirements and assignments on the next slide. Now, if you happen to register late, I will make some adjustments to the schedule for you to allow for the ordering of your textbooks, but you must contact me to let me know that you need some help in your schedule if you register late. Textbook readings. Students are required to read textbooks as assigned. The schedule of weekly assignments can be found in your syllabus, and there will be questions on the final examination regarding whether the student has completed the required reading. Exams. There will only be one exam in this quarter. It will be the final exam. This will be an open book, open notes, and Bible. However, there will be a time limit, and my encouragement to you is to study, 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 because an open book final exam can be a trap. You may think you have an opportunity of looking up every answer, but the time limit will quickly slip away. Case study discussion forums. During the first week of class, students will be assigned a time that they will be responsible for posting a case study discussion forum. There will be 1 or 2 case studies depending upon the number of students enrolled. Each original case study will be read and evaluated by all enrolled students. Feedback will be provided by classmates by posting a reply to the original post on Moodle. A reply to the 3 following statements will help students evaluate their ministry. Here's my understanding of the case. Here's what I am thinking about the case, and here's what I am suggesting you consider since the case. The original post on Moodle is due on Wednesday at 11:55 p.m. of the assignment week, and replies to the case study are to be posted by Saturday of that same week. You'll notice that in Appendix number 4 you will find instructions on how to format your case study, how to write your case study. Then, suggestions concerning a field supervisor and placement. You will want to select a place of ministry and field supervisor that gives the greatest opportunity for learning and for ministry. You'll want to watch PowerPoint Lecture Week 2B for a complete discussion of this topic. Please refer to Appendix 5 for a document describing the expectations of a field supervisor. Be sure your field supervisor has a copy of the syllabus, and especially Appendices 3, 5, 6, and 7. Some possible discussion topics are also found in Appendix number 7 if you and your field supervisor have a shortage of topics to discuss. Remember to enlist your ministry placement and field supervisor early in the quarter. Your first meeting with your field supervisor is scheduled for week number 5. Interactive PowerPoint lectures, videos, and activities. Interactive PowerPoint lectures, videos, activities, and articles are designed to make the learning atmosphere more dynamic. Each week, students will watch one or more brief PowerPoint lectures, or in some cases, a video or written presentation. The interactive assignments are coded with the week number and a letter corresponding with the number of assignments for that week. For example, the first assignment for week 1 is 1A. The interactive assignment for week 4 is 4A. That's your first assignment. 4B is the second assignment for week number 4. After carefully watching each video presentation, there will be a few questions and or projects to create an interactive environment. The purpose is to present course content and interactive material that will help the student apply the material under consideration and also make a connection with the professor. Please note, a one-sentence response to a question is not adequate and will be judged insufficient as an answer. Develop your response in the form of one or more paragraphs. A ministry log. A ministry log is a report of the student's ministry activity for the previous week. Beginning with week 4, students will submit by email a ministry log to the professor of record and the field supervisor. This log is due 1 week in advance of the scheduled meeting with the field supervisor. For example, Log 1 is emailed on week 4, but discussion of the log is delayed until week number 5. Submitting the document early allows the field supervisor to be prepared for the meeting. The field supervisor may use this document as one means of initiating a discussion with the student about work from the previous week. Follow your syllabus on page 9 for submission dates. The ministry log form is found in Appendix A in your syllabus. The PowerPoint lecture for week 3A describes a ministry log in more detail. Then letter H, Objectives and Learning Covenant. The Learning Covenant is a kind of contract for the student over the span of the quarter. Students will negotiate the covenant with the field supervisor at their first meeting on week 5. An example of a learning covenant is found in Appendix number 2. The assignment should be finalized and signed by the student and field supervisor and emailed to the professor of record on week 5. And, of course, I am the professor of record. Then your Strength Finders reflection paper. One of the required books for supervised ministry is Living Your Strength. This gives a student an access key for an online strengths assessment. After taking the instrument, students will prepare a written response using the format that I have provided for you on page number 5. If you will follow the format, you will make an excellent grade in your Strength Finders paper. I have provided stringent guidelines in regard to how I want the papers written. If you follow the guidelines and do a credible job on your presentation of information, you will make a very high grade. Then J, found on page number 5, Spiritual Gifts Reflection Paper. At the top of the Moodle homepage, students will find a simple spiritual gifts inventory. You'll want to complete the inventory and tabulate the results. Through Moodle, the student then will submit a 2 to 3 page typewritten spiritual gifts reflection paper. This paper should contain headers indicating the 3 sections of the paper. Students should respond by providing a paper formatted around 3 different sections. The sections are listed there on page number 5. K, Personal Reflection Evaluation Paper. Students will prepare a 3 to 5 page personal evaluation reflection paper on his or her ministry experience in supervised ministry and submit the paper through Moodle. You'll again find the topics and the headings that I want you to develop. For example, strengths and weaknesses, you want to describe those. Leadership, describe your understanding of your leadership ability and style. Theological reflection, this is an extremely important part of almost every paper you will write. You will find in appendix number 8 an explanation of the process of theological reflection, competencies, and then next steps. And now we finally get to the last part of these assignments and your responsibilities. There's an extra credit option. If you desire to earn extra credit, you can prepare a 4 to 6 page, double-space, interactive response to Os Guinness's book entitled The Call. Paper should be no more than 1 page of summary, a personal reaction of 2 to 3 pages, and a concluding section indicating specific lessons learned by the student that apply to an understanding of the call to ministry. That's 1 to 2 pages. In the reaction section, the student should select no less than 3 and no more than 5 significant challenges or issues and explain why these are significant for the church and or the individual Christian. The maximum award for this assignment is 5 points added to your final grade. To illustrate, if a student ends the quarter with a grade of 90, then his or her final grade would be 95 if full credit is awarded for the extra credit assignment. Obviously, this is a generous bonus. This concludes a presentation that will help you understand the course requirements and assignments. If you have questions, please let me know about those. Now, one last thing that I would like to mention to you is page number 9 in your syllabus. Page number 9 has your tentative agenda and assignments listed on it. You notice in the far left-hand corner you will see the dates for each of the weeks of this quarter. At the top you will notice the topics and PowerPoint lectures, the tasks you will be asked to complete, and then assignment due dates. Please pay special attention to that. Now, if you look at the very bottom, you'll notice some codes. You will see the baseball diamond that says assignments, papers to discuss with your field supervisor if mutually agreed upon. Now, you really don't have to discuss these if you and your field supervisor believe that there is a more important topic for discussion that day. But here is at least a starting place for you. Your field supervisor will have received your written work prior to your meeting with them, and if you and the field supervisor decide you want to discuss these topics, please feel free to do so. Now, don't allow these diamonds to confuse you. You'll notice that you will have your ministry log number 1 submitted on week 4, but you will discuss that ministry log number 1 on week number 5. So follow the diamonds. They will help you understand the assignment papers that can be discussed and when they should be discussed if you mutually agree upon that approach. You notice also that Whitney is your book, Spiritual Disciplines for the Christian Life. Again, I'm at the very bottom of the page. And then your interactive assignments are listed there for you. And then again, the fact that all assignments must be completed on time. So this hopefully will be a help for you as you move through the quarter. Now, I would mention also to you that there is several appendices to this syllabus. One is appendix number 1. It is your ministry log. Appendix number 2 is an example of how to compose a learning covenant. If you will follow this example, your learning covenant will be in a format that will help me understand exactly what you want to accomplish this quarter. This learning covenant will be the basis of your discussion with your field supervisor on week number 5, and you will determine with your field supervisor what your objectives are for the quarter. Appendix number 3 is some suggestions for selecting a field supervisor and a placement site. You want to look over that carefully. Appendix number 4 helps provide guidelines for writing a case study. Again, you will do 1 or 2 case studies, and it would behoove you to look over that particular guideline for writing case studies. And then you will find also not only a guideline for writing your case studies, but you also will find in appendix number 5 guidelines for the field supervisor. These should be given to the field supervisor to let him look over exactly what would be required of him during the course of this quarter. So please be sure that he gets all of the material, but particularly to pay attention to these. And then Appendix 6 is for your field supervisor and his evaluation of your performance during the quarter. He will provide this for me so that I will know exactly how you have done in your supervision. On page number 19, you will find appendix number 8, possible discussion topics for your weekly mentoring meeting. And again, you don't need to follow any of these unless you so desire. There may be other more pressing topics. Appendix number 8, developing processing skills for theological reflection. Now, I know this has been a very long presentation, but hopefully this will help you stay on target and stay focused for the entire quarter. God bless you as we study together. I really look forward to our time that we will spend together learning what God wants us to do and to do what He's called us to do more effectively.